and all kind of things going on. So we're about to get into that, you know what I'm saying? Right? And cloning has been going on thousands of years, right? Going all the way back to the ancient Egyptian days, right? Okay? These beings have also got into some more freaky business where they have now discovered how to remove the nucleus from a cell, a human cell, and replace it with a plant or a certain type of animal cell, nucleus, thus crossbreed, right? Crossbreeding dogs with humans, right? They crossbreed cows with humans, and bats with humans, and bats with different animals together. Man, this thing is getting freaky, man. You hear what I'm telling you? Right? Just take a look at it, right? And they do this by, like I say, removing the nucleus of a cell. You're just gonna study cells, right? And you see what the nucleus is, right? And the membrane and so on and so on, right? They do this by removing the nucleus from a human cell and replacing it with an animal or whatever animal they choose, or plant. So they got plant crossbreed humans. Man, this shit is freaky, man. I'm telling you. Right? But we're gonna get into it though. We're gonna get right down in the middle of it. Okay? Now you have a difference in clones, right? You have clones, you have duplicates, right? And clones can be similar to, can be used as an avatar. Because that's a question that one of the beings asked me. Can clones be used as avatars? An avatar is pretty much, it can be a clone of someone and be used and driven by these off-world beings, right? And they got synthetic beings. You got clones, duplicates, avatars, synthetic beings, and it kind of run, all of it kind of run hand in hand. We won't get into that. And it's a difference between a biological clone, right? Biological clones are twins, triplets, quadruplets, right? Beings who all come out of their mother by reproduction stage, right? And they come out of their mother around the same time, right? In a short of a 9-month span, right? So we're gonna get into it. So those are biological clones, right? Cloning initially, being asked the question, why do they clone, right? And the initial, the answer to that question is quite simple. Back in the day, starting, like I say, thousands of years ago, back in Egyptian times, they cloned for body parts, right? Right? And the reason why they, like I say, if you ever do your research on heart transplants, right? Liver transplants, right? These different transplants, when people get these transplants from another person that's not identical to them or cloned from them, right? They have to take medicine and pills, several different pills for the rest of their life to keep that organ, right? That particular organ functioning. If they do stop taking these pills, the organ will stop functioning because it's not their organ. It's not their organ, right? It's not their organ, and it's a foreign organ in their body, and their body will actually want to kill that organ. So they have to take these medicines to stop their body from killing that organ, okay? With a clone, you don't have to do these things, right? With a clone, being that you're identical blood type, identical DNA, identical everything, you just switch the clone, take the heart out of the clone, put it in your heart, and put it in your body, and you'll be just like a brand new heart. You won't have to take medicine because it'll be identical, right? We'll get into that though, right? That's what initially, it was for body parts. There are 3 different types of cloning. Genetic cloning, reproductive cloning, and therapeutic cloning, right? So genetic cloning is dealing around cloning organisms that have the exact same genetics. The reproductive cloning is dealing around spermatic cells, nucleus transfer, right? Which is the same as, to get you a better idea of what's going on with the reproductive cloning, it's similar to a surrogate mother. Have you ever heard of a surrogate mother, baby? What they do with the surrogate mother is they take the ovule from the woman, the egg, right, from the woman, and take the sperm from the man shoot the sperm in the egg, then take the whole, then put it into a whole other woman, right? This is reproductive cloning. Then we go into, right, therapeutic cloning, right, which is the transfer of nucleus, which is what they're doing when they crossbreed and everything, when they transfer the nucleus, right, to an unfertile egg, right? That's therapeutic cloning. So we got 3 different types of cloning that we're going over here with you to give you a better understanding. Like we say, we can go check out. It's 2 movies you need to go check out, and you get a better understanding on cloning. The boys from Brazil, right? And the boys from Brazil, they give you a better understanding on cloning, right? And in the movie, they made 90-some copies of Adolf Hitler in the boys from Brazil, right? So you go back and check that out. And there's another movie called The Island, which is a newer movie, right? A newer movie that just came out to give you a better understanding on what cloning and how it's going down, right? Because beings like Mike Tyson is a clone. And you must understand why would they clone, why are they doing this, right? Because it used to be for body parts, right? For the rich and famous, you know, used to be for the rich and famous. Now, because like I said, the rich and famous, you should, like, you know, George W. Bush Sr., who jumping out of airplanes at 95 years old. Why? Because he got a brand new heart from his clone, right? 95-year-old people don't jump out of airplanes, right? Let alone get off the toilet fast. And this fool jumping out of airplanes, right? Because he got a brand new heart and brand new liver from his clone. Like I said, you can go check the movie called The Island, get a better view of what we saying here, how we're going to go with this thing. This thing is powerful. Dealing with these clones, what they got from extraterrestrial. They got this technology from extraterrestrials, right? They gave them a more, and then the extraterrestrial, recently they've been getting more upgrades, so they got better on the cloning. But it's still a couple malfunctions, right? They still have a couple malfunctions with the human clones who they kill all these celebrities and all these powerful people and kill them and clone them, right? Which you must understand, why would, like I'm saying, why would they clone Mike Tyson? Why did they clone Mike Tyson, baby? They clone Mike Tyson so they can make their super soldiers. Michael Tyson was a knockout artist. He knocked people out in 3 seconds. It said that people got was knocked out before they punch even hit Mike Tyson punch even hit them. So what they do? They set up a equation by way to get this beam, right? They set up an equation by way to get this beam locked up. Get some of his brain cells, clone them, and put them back on the streets, right? And use them. Which explains why with Mike Tyson, they put him back on the street. See, they make clones of him. They make several clones of Mike Tyson. And the ones they put back on the street, they even got them back in the ring to test them, to see how they respond in combat. And one of them, Holyfield fought one of Mike Tyson clones. And the clone bit his damn ear off. Okay? Let's think about that, man. Marinate your mind on it. Wrap your mind around what's going on here. This shit is freaky. Okay? They got Mike Tyson, right? And got his brain cells, and they're making super soldiers. Also, the being who they killed named Bruce Lee. They've got this being and these beings and crossbreeding these beings to make Super Saiyan soldiers. They're new robots, right? They're new RoboCops. They're new super soldiers, right? And Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? Okay, we're going in. A being asked the question, how do they clone? Right? Like I say, there's 3 different types of cloning, but the most ones that they're using today to clone these celebrities and kill these fellas and then clone them and put them back on the streets is genetic cloning, where they take genetics from the brain cells, certain organs, and right, and regenerate these beings, right, and they can speed them up. Let's say when they clone Shaquille O'Neal, right? Because the Shaquille O'Neal you see right now is a clone, okay? And we're gonna prove that to you, because they malfunction from time to time, right? But what they do is, these beings have, like I told you, these beings have got a hold of certain time technology due to an experiment that took place in 1943, right? Called the Philadelphia experiment, where they got technology from a being by the name of Bill Tesla, also known as Nicholas Tesla, William Tesla, right? Who was an extraterrestrial from Venus. And they put this technology on their ships, and they were trying to accomplish invisibility step. But in actuality, the ship became invisible completely. And there was some freaky stuff going on, according to the people who was on the ship, when they appeared in another year, another time frame, right? Beings were melted into the ship, meaning that half of their body was coming out of the ship. It's hard to explain, you have to see it. Go get the movie. It's a movie called Philadelphia Experiment. You can watch it, right? So these beings got a hold of this time technology, right? Time travel technology. So they use this time technology in the cloning process, right? And how they use it is, okay, let's say Shaquille O'Neal, or however old, let's say he's, how old is Shaquille O'Neal, baby? You know how old Shaquille is? Shaquille O'Neal, let's say he's about 39. I don't know how old he is, but let's say he's about 39 years old, right? What they would do is create the clone, take his stem cells, brain cells, or whatever. Okay, Shaquille O'Neal is 46. We got it on, that's why we got Google, baby, we got Google. Shaquille O'Neal is 46 years old, right? And they got to clone him. Because the 46-year-old, the Shaquille O'Neal now is a clone, right? So what they would do is, they would re-engineer this being in the tube, right? Get this being, download to this being some of the memories of Shaquille O'Neal's childhood and certain memories in his, up until the time that he's living, right? So what they would do, right, is put this being in a time machine. And in a certain time machine they got, 1 minute is equivalent to a year. So in order to produce a Shaquille O'Neal that's 46 years old as a clone, they would put the being in the machine for 46 minutes, right? Because 1 minute is equivalent to a year in the time machine that they're using to help in the process of cloning these beings, okay? So they was doing 46, get him out, kind of like a microwave thing. You put him in the microwave, put a time on it, right? And then you get him out and he's done. Now you got a 46-year-old Shaquille O'Neal, right? And they would add all the tattoos and effects on him, right? To have him look the same, right? And then put him on the streets, right? Because little do you know, that the Shaquille O'Neal that played for the Phoenix Suns, they had 4 or 5 Shaquille O'Neals, different Shaquille O'Neals playing for the Phoenix Suns, okay? Clones. Because Shaquille O'Neal got hurt during one of them seasons and a lot of stuff went down, right? And the owner, who's a member of the Illuminati, right? A group called the Imperialists, right? These beings sit on high and have money, right? And it costs in between $2 to $5 million to make a clone. So these beings made 4 and 5 replicas of Shaquille O'Neal and had them all playing, right? Switching them out, right? For the Phoenix Suns, okay? We better go into it, man. About to get freaky. We ain't got to, about to get into it now. Also beings like Gucci Man, who was locked up in prison and then released. They locked Gucci Man up in prison, cloned him, then killed him and put his clone back on the streets. So what you're supposed to understand about these clones, right, is they gotta have a human handler, what they call a handler, right? A person that stays with them all the time in case they malfunction. They are trained to handle, to revise them or to get them back working or take them to a certain special hospital for clones, right? Because they have these hospitals in California and certain New York and other areas, they have these special hospitals just for clones when they start malfunctioning. And they handle can't troubleshoot them right there on the spot, and they can't get the troubleshoot down, right, and get them going. They can call these beings or take these beings to this hospital, right, and then get them back together and put them back out. So they'll make it look like, oh, like he had a heart attack, or they say Lil Wayne passed out on stage, or this and that. They make these stories up in order to cover up for the clone, right? Some of these beings, these celebrities, have accidental deaths, and these beings who sit on high, who in control, make money off these beings, right? Especially if it's a being that's producing a lot and making them a lot of money, like Michael Jackson, right? Who had several clones, right? After the Pepsi commercial, when he burned his hair, right? They made several clones of Mike. Been making money off the Michael clone ever since. Okay? So with beings like they have accidental deaths, such as the being who are 1/3 of the Migos, right? You ever heard of a new group called Migos, right? The being crashed his car and died. And they cloned the being, right? And put the being back on the streets. And if you notice about these beings, right, like Gucci Man, Offset, these clones, right, when they get out, they get married to their handler. Most likely, if it's a male clone, they have a female handler. Like at one point, a being by the name of Hoops, right, who's on Flavor Flav Love, right, was a handler for Shaquille O'Neal's, one of Shaquille O'Neal clones, okay? We've been exposed them. We put them on blast, right? We put it out there. Like we said, it was initially used for body parts. Nowadays, it's about money and power and control, right? They want to take over your world, right? This is an extraterrestrial conspiracy right here. We don't say conspiracy because it's a pattern. We know what's going on. We see it. It's going on over and over and over and over and over again, okay? They have cloned LeBron James, and we told you about that right on the Host Part 2. Look at the other tapes, Host Part 2. They use the LeBron James clone for Sprite commercials, right? when LeBron on the road overseas playing with the U.S. team, they using his clone to do commercials, right? In some cases, to do walkthroughs with kids at schools and everything, man. These people going crazy, man, with this thing. These people are, man, I'm telling you. Right? They killed OJ, right? Killed OJ Simpson, and the being who you saw in the court trial was a clone. Right? This shit is deep. This shit is freaky. Your favorite basketball player, who they call the greatest of all times, Michael Jordan, is a clone. Look at him. Right? When he was young, if you look at the bean, right? Look at the bean ears. They got this new thing right now in Denver at the airport where they can check beans' ears, right? They can identify people by their ears because their ears kind of like similar to the fingerprint. Well, people have distinguished ears. So they have this computer system, right? They can look at your ears and calculate who you are and tell who you are. If you look at Michael Jordan's ears, right, and then look at the clone, right, it's totally different. Right, so they've killed Michael Jordan and cloned him and got him going around, man, look. They don't let niggas get billions of dollars. Michael Jordan is a billionaire, right? He's a clone, right? They own, somebody else is a Michael Jordan handler. Usually they got a white girl handle him. Last time I seen him was a white girl handle him. And like we told you what handlers were, they have beings on standby to monitor these clones to make sure they don't malfunction. And a lot of these beings been malfunctioning and being caught on tape. And we're gonna show you them, we're gonna show you some of them tapes where Jalen Rose malfunctions.
Bro, watch my nigga Jalen Rose though. Look at my nigga Jalen Rose. Tell me that's a fucking robot or some shit. That ain't no fucking human being. Look at this nigga. He didn't move, blink or nothing. Bro, look at this shit. This nigga a robot too, man. They got my niggas. That's my nigga. He from my city. No, they got him too. No, this shit wicked than a bitch. I just peeped this shit watching the game in the finals. Damn.
Right? Because he's a clone. They killed the bean. They cleared the bean, brought his clone back on TV, right? And the bean malfunctioned. And they caught it on tape. Well, they caught Shaq on tape malfunctioning. I mean, this thing is crazy, man. We getting into it, though. Right?
And Shaq's clone is fucking doing a show tonight. Look at Shaq. Look at Shaq. Look at Shaq. Somebody tell me what the fuck Shaq's doing right now. What the fuck is wrong with Shaq? What? Look. This is going on. Somebody tell me what's wrong with Shaq, man. Bro, this shit is creepy as shit. Dude is a straight clone, man, and it's malfunctioning. Dude is malfunctioning on TV. What the fuck is that? Did nobody else see that? Why is that?
Like we say, you want to get a better understanding on what's going on here, go get the movie Boys from Brazil. Right? Where the being Adolf Hitler have over 94, it cloned Adolf Hitler in this movie 94 times. Right? And the movie The Island, it give you a real good understanding on what's going on. Right? The initiative of it. Right? And you know, like I say, it's a difference. You got clones, you got duplicates. A duplicate is not exactly identical. A duplicate could be 75 to 97% identical, right? So there'll be a little bit of slight differences, right? Because the people who are walking around are what they call doppelgangers. People who look identical alike, right? People who you can't even tell the difference. Some of the people look realer than the real person, right? These people are duplicates. There's a big difference. Duplicates and clones, right? And like we told you what avatars are, right? Get your mind, wrap your mind around avatars, right? If you don't know what an avatar is, go back and get them other tapes, right? Go get the movie Avatar, and you see how beings transfer their consciousness from one body to the next, right? We talked about that on the tapes. Galactic Intro Part 2. I mean, not Galactic Intro Part 2. It's Galactic Federation of Life Part 2. We went in on that. Go get them tapes. It's on here, man. Young Elders, right? They'll clone the being, right? They'll clone the being by the name of Rick Ross, Jay-Z, Dave Chappelle been cloned, right? LeBron James, and the list goes on. A lot of white folks they cloned a lot of white guys and killed them too, white actors who didn't want to get down, right? Like Jim Carrey, who didn't want to get down with who speaked out about them, right? These beings they kill and clone and put them back on the streets. Right? These beings are twisted. They are sick in the mind, man. Like I told you. They have a base called Los Alamos. Right? Where they're working closely with extraterrestrial and they're crossbreeding animals with humans with bats and humans with dogs, rats with cats. I mean, man, these people are going crazy down there, man. I'm telling you. Shit is deep. Right? And when they do the cloning, right, they'll download the information from the original being, right? There's defects to it, which is why the malfunction is happening, right? When they download the information from the original being and download to the clone, it's a distortion. So sometimes the being might malfunction. He might come into a freeze, meaning that he might just go to be stuck. No blanking, no nothing, right? Sometimes these beings run into walls, run into doors, they fall down and trip randomly, right? Okay? Most of the clones, they have an egotistic way of thinking, okay? Think that they're better than everybody else, right? Or nobody loves them, nobody likes them, everybody's against them. Right? Type of thinking. Because these beings lack the full describe of emotion as regular humans, right? Because these beings, in the type of environment, they depend on what type of environment that they put them in. Most of these beings are laboratory beings, so they're pretty much, their emotions is different from a human, right? Because they haven't experienced all things that humans in a real situation experience, okay? So we're dealing around that, right? And these beings, like I say, these beings trip over things, run into walls. and they can go into a freeze where they just be stuck and can't move and can't blink, nothing, right? And this is a malfunction. Like I said, we're gonna show you some videos of that, right? Okay? In actuality, right, the way it was set up, every person has at least 7 duplicates, right? Every person has at least seven duplicates.
I always love when we do this. Okay, our first celebrity lookalike comes from Gianna B. And Gianna says that she looks like Christina Aguilera. So here's the real Christina, and then here's Gianna. Yep. Good. Yeah. Raisa thinks that her daughter, Aria, looks like Kylie Jenner. So let's see the real Kylie. All right, let's take a look at Aria. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Diego thinks he looks like Lenny Kravitz. So let's take a look at the real Lenny. And let's take a look at, I know, yes. And let's take a look at Diego. Yes. Yeah, you good one. And Sarah thinks that she looks like Fantasia Barrino. All right, well, we'll be the judge of that, Sarah. Let's take a look at the real Fantasia. And let's take a look at Sarah. Fantasia, I know it's been a while since we talked, or that we talked about you here on the show, but you do not have to go through celebrity lookalikes to be mentioned. This is Fantasia. That is an incredible celebrity lookalike. Sarah, oh my gosh. Fantasia, you have a twin.
That's why you might see a bean, you might say, man, you got a twin, right? I just saw, it's a bean that lives such and such, right? They look identical to you, man. Y'all can pass for twins, right? You might see that a lot. These beans are called duplicates, right? They're about between, like we told you, they're between 75 to 97% of the same person almost. And and these beans are connected, right? These beans are connected. When one bean receives a cut, the other beans feel the same in the same area, right? Or feel a certain type of way about that area because the other bean received a cut. So these beans are connected, right? And some of these beans, right? Like I say, some of these celebrities, if you get down with the dark side, they allow you to like I said, people like P. Diddy, he down with the dark side. He a full-blown homosexual. He's doing his thing, you know what I'm saying? And they love people like that. They don't have to clone him because he's already down with them. So that's the first option. They got 3 different options. You get down with them, and they won't have to clone you or mind control you. You just down with it automatically. People like Diddy, right? Right? People like Baby, right? Birdman, right? He down with it. The next method of controlling these beings is called MK mind control, right? And what they do is they program these beings to think and do as they say, right? And the third method is killing them and cloning them. If you don't want to get down with all that, they kill your ass, have you locked up in jail, or come up with some accident where they kill you and clone you and put you back on the streets. In the case of the being Offset, like we said, the being Offset, which is 1/3 of the Migos, which was in a real bad accident, who died. And they brought this being back 2 days later with longer hair and everything. That was a different being, right? A clone. You people are getting out of hand with this thing, man. And got him a handler, right? Carly B is the handler for Offset, which is why they get married. Because I told you, the handler usually like to stay real close, so they get married, so it won't be no excuse if you see them together all the time, right? Because they're the handler. She the handler for Offset, right? And go watch the video. Go watch her video where they did the ritual. They did a ritual over this kid's death, man. This shit is freaky, man. In the video, what's the name of that video? Be careful with me, right? Well, she get married to the Bean. In one scene, the next scene, she going to the Bean funeral or walking with an upside down cross. That's a ritual, right? And keep in mind, the Bean was in Las Vegas at a casino not too long ago, before he was in the accident, before the video, speaking out against upside down crosses, okay? We're gonna play that video for you.
All y'all niggas went upside down cross. Even my little partners, man. Stop that shit, boy. You look lame. All that worship the devil shit. Get with God, man. Ain't gonna get you.
Right, we're gonna play both videos for you, some clips, right? It's playing in the background right now, okay? We're gonna play that outset where he talk about the upside down cross. Then the girl he's supposed to be getting married to come right in the video with the upside down cross. Man, this is mockery of this kid. And they clone him and put him back on the streets. Right? Overstand the reason why. The real reason why Ashanti, what her name is? What's Shaquille O'Neal's wife name, baby? Ashanti? Shani, right? Understand the real reason why Shani left Shaquille O'Neal. She left Shaquille O'Neal not because he was cheating. Man, come on. This man had all his money, $500 million. Man, when Shaquille O'Neal was playing for the Lakers, he said he still was cashing Orlando Magic money. I mean, he said he had to spend the Lakers check since he played for the Lakers. So I don't understand how much money this cat got. And Shani knew he was messing with girls. She didn't care. Right? They had already made a deal. You can mess with women as long as you don't get them pregnant, right? The real reason why she left and why these beans get divorced, like Michael Jordan's wife left him, the real reason why, right? Is because that's not their husband, it's a clone. The beans that killed their real husband and cloned them. And the bean and the wife know it's not the real one. And the government and the people who are responsible for this told them if they talk or tell anything, and they'll kill them and clone them. And kill whoever they tell and clone them, or just kill them. Man, these beans are twisted, man. These beans got hold of some serious technology and they twisted in the mind, man, I'm telling you. Freaky, man. So these wives know that that's not their real husband. This is why they get a divorce and put it out on the media, make it like they got divorced because they were cheating or this and that. Man, them bees got a divorce because they were clones. They killed their husband. And don't worry, the truth is coming to the light right now as we speak. Huh? Their system is up. Their time is up. Right? They doing everything they can do to hang on. Like Elijah Muhammad said, your hand is on 6, the minute hand is on 6, the hour hand is on 6, and you can't go over the 7. Your time is up. Your day is done. Right? So they're doing whatever they can do. They're doing all kind of shit going on here. With the cloning. Right? We're putting it out now. Understand that every president since Jimmy Carter had clones. Man, the president is well protected, man. First of all, he rides around in one of the most heavily armored type car in the world. He rides around with an entourage of doctors, hitman, squads, right? They have a blood bank. I'm talking about with him as he rolls. A blood bank, different things. They have a hospital where they can take him to on the same route, right? And the Nation of Islam, L4I, right, use some of these methods, right? Let's do your research, you'll find out, right? And the presidents also have clones, just because they had to put another heart or another liver, another lung, especially the president they want to save, right? But they did Kennedy, right? Kennedy lived a long time after they shot him, right? On a retreat, right? He lived brain dead because at the time they couldn't figure out how to replace the brain from the clone. Right? That's another story, but we can go into that. So George W. Bush Jr. had many clones, right? And the clones, you can tell the clones, because the clones dumb. When they ask him a question about something, his response was dumb because it was the clones. right? These were clones. This shit is deep, man. I'm telling you. Nicki Minaj, right? Who have several clones because they understand they're making a lot of money off this chick. And plus, a lot of these rich white guys are sleeping with these clones, okay? Of this girl. Man, this shit is freaky, right? Nicki Minaj, you know who Nicki Minaj is, right? Lil Wayne, signed with Lil Wayne, right? Have several clones. Right? This thing is freaky, man. I'm telling you. Okay? And you see in the video right now of all her clones, different clones she had, right? Some of those doubles and some of those are clones in the video. Okay? Duplicates. We went over what duplicates are, right? Duplicates and clones. Right? And they have her under mind control too, right? Like we say, when they get when they do the clone, they download some of the beans' memory to the clone. So, but half the time the clone don't remember all of the thing because there's a distortion, right? Because like the bean said, David Chappelle's cousin said David Chappelle disappeared to Africa, right, on a retreat, and he come back and like I said, this chick said that which was David Chappelle's cousin said that they were close. That David Chappelle hung out all the time. And all of a sudden David Chappelle come back, he looked totally different. Right? And he don't recognize her at all. Man, what kind of mess is that? Man, there's something going on here. It's some freaky stuff going on right now up in this thing, man. They're cloning all of your celebrities. Lil Wayne, right? They say he passed out all the time. From drinking codeine. No, he passed out because it's a clone. The clone malfunction, right? Okay? We're going to get into that. We got a couple minutes left, but we're going in.
What we are about the business now is awakening.